Breakfast Central on News Central. Don't forget, we are very social here, so you can reach us via social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and not forgetting on the website, that's www.newscentral.africa. Also watch us live on YouTube. All right, we're moving straight to the business as usual segment, and as always, well, you can say the return of Rotus Oddiri, editor of Business Insider SSA. Welcome back, Baba.
Thank you. Good.
It's like you had a good time off.
Yes, it was great. I got some rest.
Some good rest necessary. Let's follow with the big news about the Airpeace CEO, indicted for fraud allegations.
Yes.
That's
tough one.
That's Alan Onyema, and he's denied the allegations that he laundered more than $20 million from a United States bank account. And
Yes.
Where are we going with this one now?
Yeah, so it's a pretty serious allegation, but of course it's always important to state first that he is innocent until proven guilty. His chief administrator for finance, Ejiro Egaga, she is also been indicted for identity theft. So what's going on here is that there are multiple agencies in the U.S. that worked on this case. So you're looking at the Department of Commerce, the Department of Treasury, the IRSCI, the
U.S. Department of Justice.
The Internal Revenue Service criminal investigation, about 6 or 7 agencies. And what they're essentially alleging is that he essentially opened up foundations that were supposed to be peaceful foundations. He has something called Peace Media and some other companies that are supposed to be NGOs. But between 2013 and I believe 2018, when he founded Airpeace, some of the funds that he used to purchase airplanes, because when you start an airline, you have to buy airplanes.
Yeah.
Some of that money came from those foundations. So that's one allegation that's there. Also, as far as these $20 million is concerned, he had to get letters of credit from Nigerian banks in order to purchase some of these planes after founding Airpeace. And so when you approach a bank and you say, I want to purchase this item, the banks will say, okay, let me see, let us see documentation that proves you want to make this purchase. So a bill of sale, purchase agreement, other documents. And so pretty much the company in Georgia, I think it's SkyTel LLC or so, that was supposed to provide these documents, it is alleged that those documents are false and they're fake. And so he now took the money from the banks, they forwarded the money to him, and then he now laundered it through his other accounts. And also his chief of finance, the lady, Miss Egaga, she is also alleged to have accused of forging the signature of the manager of the company. Also, it's also said that Onyema owns the company as well. So it's really dicey. It's messy, and they've gone forward and said that they will try and prove their case. It's a big hit to the public relations of the firm. It's a big hit to his reputation. But he's got a lot of goodwill. Remember, he extradited those Nigerians from South Africa.
Facilitates the process.
By providing his planes, and so he's got a lot of goodwill in Nigeria, and people are hoping that the company isn't adversely affected, because you want we talked about this some weeks ago on the show, separating a business owner from his business and hoping that the company can still operate efficiently while this is going on. But
this is the 2nd of December, when the Ember month, so we've not seen, there's not been any news about the financial health of Airpeace, or whether this has really affected the fleets and the flights and the travel schedules. Looks like everything is going as normal for Airpeace.
I was during part of my vacation, I was in Abuja. Although funny enough, I was working though, sadly. But I flew Airpeace, and everything seemed to be fine. Okay. So one hopes that this will not adversely affect him. But I understand that the Department of Justice is asking for him to forfeit that about $14 to $20 million. So you would hope that the money that they're asking him to forfeit does not affect the liquidity of the company, when it comes to paying their pilots and their staff and so on, and affecting maintenance of the plane. So one has to see. But when you have multiple agencies in America, I know Jonathan, former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan, had this quote where he said, America will know. when you have this many agencies, about 6 or 7 agencies investigating you, and they put their case together, he's facing 27 counts of money laundering. Then him and his administration of finance is also facing counts for identity theft, conspiracy to commit fraud, bank fraud. There are multiple counts. So he might beat some of them, he might beat the others. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But it's a pretty hefty case that he's facing right now.
So Alan Onyema has come out to deny allegations of laundering of any money. So we'll see how that one goes on the story. Still on top 3 on the business today. Zimbabwe's senior doctors joined public hospital strike. Now, senior doctors in Zimbabwe public hospitals have gone on strike to protest against the dismissal of junior colleagues who have boycotted over the pay for nearly 3 months and really create another deepening crisis in the country's health sector. Well, it's not the kind of news we want to hear about. The senior doctors now joining this one because the junior doctors have been laid off. So economically, it's a crunch with Zimbabwe, especially since they introduced some bills a couple of weeks ago.
The notes that were supposed to assist them in liquidity. We're getting money through their economy. Zimbabwe right now is, they're in bad shape. They're in really bad shape.
I've seen pictures of doctors.
So they had this horrible drought, I believe, between October of 2018 and May of this year.
Yeah.
It severely reduced, it caused crop shortages. Right now, there are food shortages, they're facing food shortages in cereals. So it was so bad that the government had to lift their import ban on maize. So cereals like your maize, rice, and so on, there are shortages now. The United Nations, a envoy that went there recently, I think it was just last week, said that some people, like about 5 million Zimbabweans, are going to be facing starvation soon. Now, you're not only facing food shortages, you're facing foreign exchange shortages, which has inflation is said to be about 300%. It's so bad that the government stopped publishing inflation numbers in June. I mean, some estimates are saying, so the junior doctors are saying, look, inflation is rising. You're paying us what, about $150 to $200 a month. It can't buy anything anymore. So you need to pay us more. The Zimbabwe government said, look, but guys, we don't have the money. And now the senior doctors are saying, and so they essentially fired those junior doctors for going on strike. And the senior doctors are saying, look, you need to reinstate them or we will now, and this is what's happening now, we will also go on strike as well. And the thing is, the Zimbabwe government has said, look, doctors can also carry out private practice because to try and earn some more money. In fact, you can even do a private practice and bring in your private patients into public hospitals to try and supplement your income. But,
it's not working.
Yeah, but another thing is the doctors are also saying that they're not necessarily going on strike. They're incapacitated. There's no gloves. There's no syringes. There's no equipment. There's power shortages. Look, we really, have to hope that things can turn around. Things are not even looking good for the vice president, Mr. Constantine Chiwenga. He went to China, I think it was South Africa, India, then China. He just released for medical tourism and then came back and started blasting the doctors for not being able to take care of people. Meanwhile, he's flying overseas. So you've got senior officials in the government flying overseas for medical care, while the average Zimbabwean is not able to be
I wonder what this will do to the access to medicine and paying for pharmaceutical products.
Again, it jacks up the price of these items. Also, that's inflation. We're talking about inflation. Also, I believe
there is a cap on the notes that you can even get, right?
Yeah, that's correct. But a lot of them are saying that. So there's a pastor that's an activist. I can't remember his name, but he released a video with some other people saying that, look, pay us in USD. These banknotes you're introducing, they're not working because the currency is almost, at 300% inflation, what are you going to be able to do with your money? So you might as well pay us in US dollars, but unfortunately, the country is facing a cash crunch. The president, Nawangana, said that he was going to, rebuild the economy, rebuild infrastructure, bring in foreign direct investment, but none of that is happening right now. So the country is in real dire states right now.
All right, so let's still stick with the south of the continent on our big 3 on the business today. We went from Nigeria to Zimbabwe. We can also go to Mozambique, where we had the African Development Bank announce the approval of a long-term senior loan of $400 million towards an integrated liquefied natural gas plant in Mozambique, and is expected to become one of the world's largest LNG exporters. So this is big ones. But how come they are the ones getting this such
Well, I mean, you know, whenever so the full project, the cost of the entire project is about $23 billion. So it's quite hefty. Mozambique wants to, of course, diversify its revenue streams and be a major exporter of liquefied natural gas. Think about the kind of deals that Russia has with some African countries and the European Union. Russia exports liquefied natural gas, and they have, I think Gazprom is their big, they make a lot of money from that. So, you know, African nations like Mozambique want to tap into that. So Total, actually, the French oil company, is the one that's actually behind this. I think they have a 26% interest in this venture. And so it's a consortium. So the African Development Bank is also working with some development.
Well, why Mozambique? What makes this country, you know, the attractive project?
Well, that's the thing. They've got the liquefied natural gas reserves. So the thing is that if you're dealing in oil and gas, it's very capital intensive. The money that this is going to be used for is supposed to be able to explore the area. So I believe Total, I think Mobil and one other oil company are also looking at some other regions. I think they call it Area 1 or Area 441. There are different areas that where they're supposed to explore and be able to export this. So when you have a huge cost like that, you've got to share the risk with other institutions. So the AFDB is you know, pitching in their 400 million. And they're looking at this, the returns from this, being able to, the returns they will get from what they export will be able to compensate them for the money that they're putting in. So it's a pretty large project. I think they're looking at going live in the first half of 2020 by the time they put the funds together. But it's good for the company. Mozambique is, I mean, what is it? They're facing the Indian Ocean. They're off the coast of Southern Africa, known for tourism, agriculture, mineral oils and stuff like that. So adding liquefied natural gas, it's going to be a big game changer for them.
All right, good one for that. Good one for them. You know, it's been announced and it's been confirmed. $400 million from the African Development Bank. We'll also keep an eye on stories like the Nigerian Senate moving for oil sector computerization, and the Tanzanian government orders $54 million misuse funds to be repaid. Well, thank you so much, Oddiri, Rotus, for coming on the show.
Appreciate it.
Editor, Business Insider SSA. We'll have you back again.
Yes, indeed.
That's for sure.